Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. Baseball is a box office blockbuster. A Los Angeles love story. The Dodgers are a smash hit in Hollywood after they temporarily dampened the spirit of St. Louis. A Montreal picture in motion. The Terminator displays the right stuff, leaving no doubt that he's the man with the golden arm. Rewriting the script, a New York Yankee road warrior is gone with the wind. And man, let me tell you, that's entertainment. California's sweet. The little general continues his long quest for that championship season. So take your seats, because we're bound for glory, y'all, on This Week in Baseball. National League focus. In Los Angeles, the Dodgers clip the Cards. Take note, the Dodgers have begun to make their mark, thanks in big part to a top-flight pitching staff that helped Los Angeles win 24 out of 34 to take over first place in the West.
That's all right. Oh, because, you know, you're from 96 pitchers and then 98 back-to-back, and it's a good sign. It's a good sign of something.
For the Cardinals, signs of vulnerability as they lost 3 out of 4. Orel Hershiser won the opener, and in his next start, he tossed a one-hitter to go 10-3. More Los Angeles handiwork next night as Bob Welch kept the Redbirds grounded, striking out 9 for the third of 4 straight wins. After missing 2 months with an injury, Welch is well on the mend.
I think with that elbow coming back again where it's hurting, I think the biggest thing was a rehabilitation program down in Vero Beach. He made about 4 or 5 starts, came back with, I think, right now he's throwing the ball as good as ever, and we started working on another pitch for him, that changeup. And it's kind of a split-finger fastball type of thing, and I think it's just going to be one great asset for him.
LA's biggest asset on the mound is Fernando Valenzuela, who displayed his usual razzmatazz by 3-hitting St. Louis for win number 11, complete game number 12, and shutout number 5, most in the majors, as the Dodgers took the first 3 games from the Eastern Division leading St. Louis Cardinals. But the Cards came right back with a bang in the 10th inning of Game 4 when Steve Braun pinch hit with a man on. Braun's first home run in 2 years gave the Redbirds a 4-2 win, as both teams ended the series still holding on to slight leads atop their divisions. Now let's move on to New York, where the Mets burned Atlanta. The Mets kept the heat on first-place St. Louis after splitting the first 2 games with the Braves and then going positively batty, scoring a club record 31 runs in the next 2 games. The biggest blaster was Darryl Strawberry, who's really been hot since returning from injury in late June. The Straw Man smacked 2 homers, including a grand slam, and drove in 7 runs, the major league high for 1 game this year. George Foster was also booming with 3 hits and 5 RBIs in 1 game, raising his team-leading totals to 15 homers and 51 runs driven in. Another frightening sight to Brave pitchers was Keith Hernandez, who added to Atlanta's 2-game nightmare with 5 hits and 4 RBIs while boosting his batting average above 280. Howard Johnson treated Met fans to a variety of Hojo flavors. 4 hits, 2 of them homers, and 5 RBIs. The Mets went wild, all right. Even the pitchers got into the act. Terry Leach collected 2 hits to have a peach of a time in his first Major League start since 1982. Leach also ate up the Braves on the mound, winning his first game since being called up from the minors in late June. The Mets won 15 out of 17 before Cincinnati swept 3 games in New York to cool them off. Time now to feature a rough reliever known as the Terminator. Jeff Reardon has made many a happy ending for a moving Montreal team. After a team record 76 saves in over 3 seasons for the Expos, Reardon's looking tougher than ever now that he's added a curveball to his mound repertoire.
Spring training, I worked a lot on the curveball, and I wasn't that concerned with my statistics, how I did or anything. I just went out there and kept working on the curve because I wanted to throw it more this year. And that's been a big reason for my success this year.
No doubt the curve has helped make Reardon even more formidable. But the 29-year-old right-hander still looks to the ever-reliable fastball for his primary weapon.
This year I've been setting it up good with the curveball, getting ahead of the hitters, and they're not really looking for the fastball like they have in the past. But I'd say my outpitch is still my fastball.
With a Major League leading 24 saves, plus a 2.50 ERA, Reardon credits the confidence of skipper Buck Rogers.
Big reason, I think, is been given the chance to go in there and save the games by Buck. I had 3 good seasons in a row, I think, as a stopper, but when you're only getting 30 to 35 chances for saves, it's kind of hard to save 40 games. So this year he's given me the chance, and also my arm and back are real healthy, and been getting all my pitches working this year.
Reardon earned his first All-Star appearance for his outstanding first half of the season and continues serving notice to one and all: do not tamper with the Terminator.
Jeff Reardon's got a whole lot of confidence in himself this year. He's getting the opportunity to save games. He's doing the job, and as long as he's doing the job the way he is now, he certainly is going to get the opportunity to save a whole lot more before this year is over.
Now, let's open the notebook for This Week in Baseball's TWIB notes from around the National League. Third baseman Buddy Bell feels right at home in the Reds dugout since a trade from Texas to his hometown of Cincinnati. The 5-time All-Star broke in with Cleveland in 1972. 7 years later, he became a Ranger, winning 6 Gold Gloves and setting several team hitting marks. In his Reds homecoming, Bell got right into the swing with a base hit. A real thrill for one hometown rooter in particular, his father Gus, who also wore number 25 when he played in Cincinnati for 9 seasons from 1953 to 1961. San Diego's Lamar Hoyt has won 11 straight games to go 13-4, and control has been a big reason. In 147 innings, just 14 walks, including a club record 29 2/3 straight innings without a free pass. When Padre teammate Terry Kennedy cracked a home run against Cub pitcher Steve Trout, he became the first left-handed batter to homer off Trout in 3 years, over 482 innings. Eddie Haas manages a Brave lineup filled with lively lumber, second in the league in homers and 4th in hits. Incidentally, not one member of the Braves is a switch hitter, the only team in the league without one. Now for this week's quiz. Can you name the 2 American League teams without any switch hitters? Stay tuned and don't go west to find the answer. In Minnesota, the Yankees kept climbing. The Yankees have been focusing on success, although they took a back seat to Minnesota's win in Game 1. But Joe Cowley cruised to victory the next night for win number 8 against 4 losses. The script also called for relief, and it came from Dave Righetti, who picked up save number 17 by striking out the side in the 9th inning. next night, New York gave the Twins a licking right off the bat when Rickey Henderson opened the game with his 12th home run. Rickey had 3 for 5 in all and regained the league batting lead with a .356 average. Don Mattingly hammered one of his 11 homers, drove in 4 runs, and upped his league lead with 75 RBIs. The Twins tried to get a grip on their hitting, but red-hot Ron Guidry foiled their plans with win number 12 in a row, longest streak in the majors this season. The victory also lifted Guidry's lifetime record against Minnesota to 16-4. In Game 4, the Twins pointed to their pitching for help, but Dave Winfield made a powerful point of his own, cracking his 13th round tripper and collecting game-winning hit number 11 as New York won 5-2. The Yankees were also sitting pretty with 46-year-old Phil Niekro on the mound, knuckleballing his way to win number 9, the 293rd victory of his career, as New York took 3 out of 4 from the Twins to go 24-8 since mid-June. But then they ran into a royal rip of 3 straight losses in Kansas City. Next stop, Chicago, where the White Sox cleaned up on Cleveland. Chicago fans were frisky at Comiskey because the Sox took 3 out of 4 from the Indians. Reed Nichols recently had his Sox traded from red to white, and he led a Chicago slugfest in the opener by going 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs. The Sox were also scorching on the mound as Britt Burns put the heat on Cleveland with a 10-0 win, shutting out the Indians for the 3rd time this year and extending his scoreless streak against them to 32 innings. Next night, Sox fans were treated to another zero hero as 40-year-old Tom Seaver tossed a 4-hit shutout. It was Tom Terrific's 10th win of the year, leaving him just 2 shy of career victory number 300. The game's only run, courtesy of catcher Carlton Fisk, who unloaded one of his major league leading 26 home runs as the White Sox ended their season series against Cleveland with a 10-2 record. Now, let's review this week in baseball's TWIB notes from around the American League. Boston's Wade Boggs was in the swing with a 27-game hitting streak, longest in the majors this year, improving his batting average to .344, 3rd best in the league. .344 is also the 4-year career average for 27-year-old Boggs, who won the 1983 American League Batting Championship. The Tigers have been hurting, hit by a rash of nagging injuries. In one game, their ranks got so thin that third baseman Tom Brookins, learning how to wear the gear, went behind the plate to catch in the 11th inning against Texas, a career first for Brookins. Detroit won in the 15th inning, but lost the other 3 games to the Rangers. For the second time in 2 weeks, Boston caught a California base runner napping with the old hidden ball trick. Second baseman Marty Barrett pulled it off both times, here against Doug DeCinces. No point arguing, Doug. Sparky Anderson's Detroit Tigers are one of the 2 American League teams without a switch hitter in their lineup. The other is John McNamara's Boston Red Sox, and they lead the majors in hitting with a .278 team batting average. At the start of the season, a pair of switch hitters were on Detroit's roster, rookie infielder Chris Pitaro and rookie outfielder Nelson Simmons. But the Tigers sent both players back down to the minors in late June. Hey, fans, check it out. Free-floating anxiety abounds when big leaguers try to fly right, but instead get grounded. Now, here's what I call an unhappy landing. You know, in baseball, sometimes anything goes. Only problem is, where it lands, nobody knows. Lost in space? Well, don't space out. You never know when you might have to make a crash landing. So clear the runway and call out the rescue squad, because we've arrived at the end of a mighty bumpy flight. Time now to take off with fielding finesse, the kind of sparkle and luster only big leaguers can muster. Up first, St. Louis Cardinal Tommy Herr. Atlanta Brave Paul Zubella. Brave teammate Claudell Washington. Seattle Mariner Phil Bradley. Baltimore Oriole Cal Ripken. About face. Denny Walling, Houston Astros. Detroit Tiger Doug Flynn. Cincinnati Red Frank Pastore, staying with it. Red teammate Dave Parker. New York Met Len Dykstra. Los Angeles Dodger Candy Maldonado. Philadelphia's John Wockenfuss. The White Sox Tim Hewlett. Julio Cruz, over and out. And Chicago Cub Larry Bowa. Well done, one and all. Now it's time to march front and center with California's Little General. Gene Mauch is back as California's field general after a 2-year absence, getting the itch to return when he saw the team in a pennant race last year.
Toward the end, when we started getting in contention, it looked like we had a chance to win, and some started boiling around in my stomach again. And then when there was a managerial move here, I was ready to accept it. For the first time in the 5 years that I've been associated with the Angels, I went to the Instructional League last year and was so enthused about the kids down there, I ended up going back 4 times. And in years past, I would go in there for a day or two, and I said, there's no use being down here because there isn't anything.
Nothing but talent for Mauch to work with these days as the surprising Angels stand atop the West with a fine blend of experience and youth. First on any team is pitching, and California's collection of young arms is sporting the best ERA of any staff in the league. Defense is another piece of a winning puzzle, and the Angels rank first in the league in fielding percentage. The big question mark is offense. The team's .247 batting average ranks second to last in the league, but with Mauch in command, the Angels feel confident.
He's a manager that goes out there. He's extremely well prepared, ready for anything. He always seems to be a step ahead. But the real plus about him is that he's behind you 110%, and he really lets you know about it.
I'd say he's made a tremendous difference. I know it myself. He's a confidence builder, and I don't worry about whether I make a mistake out there or not because I know that he knows I'm giving it my best.
He's awesome, man. He gets the best out of his players. He's a very intense man, and he's in the game on every pitch. He's just a little general, man.
The 9th winningest manager of all time, Mauch began with Philadelphia in 1960. 9 years later, he moved on to Montreal, and in '76 went to Minnesota. Then in 1981, it was on to California. And although he holds the mark for most years managing without winning a pennant, his Angels did win the West in '82. Now in his 24th season, the Little General remains a first-class leader. And now it's time for an Old Spice salute. Brought to you by 24-hour strong Old Spice deodorant and antiperspirant. This week, Old Spice salutes Odeby McDowell of Texas. In a 15-inning game against Detroit, he tied a big league record with 15 putouts and also nailed the Tiger at home. Then the rookie was great at the plate in a win over Cleveland. After hitting a single, double, and triple, McDowell needed a home run to become the first Ranger ever to hit for the cycle.
Drive deep to right center field. That ball is going. He is hit for the cycle.
8 consecutive hits and 2 straight game winners. Congratulations, Little O. And that's all for now, folks. See you next week on This Week in Baseball.